Hello, this is the One Episode Rule podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie. Have not touched the medium this podcast is about in like a week.
Yeah, I feel that.
Except for X-Men. X-Men is an anime.
X-Men is an anime now.
I've
Fuck it. X-Men is good.
X-Men 97 is incredible.
Yeah,
Great show.
it's a good watch. Hi, I'm Joey. I finished reading Dungeon Meshi this week.
Nice.
I really liked it a lot. It's a great. They did a good job, I think, tying up the loose ends. So.
I've been seeing, because apparently the Dungeon Meshi episodes come out in Japan a couple of days before the Netflix America release.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been seeing screenshots of the girl and attached to them commentary that's just like, this is going to be great when everybody expects an energetic Genki girl, and what they get is a mean shit poster.
She is just she's a rude little kitty cat, and we love her for that.
I am up to date on the anime, and I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about her. You'll see.
Okay. Hi, I'm Louie. I didn't watch anime either. Is that true? I think that's true. I finished a bunch of shit a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if I was on the podcast since then or not, but like I caught up on Mashal, Solo Leveling, Free Ren, Dungeon Meshi.
Good shit.
Yeah, I saw you just like posting back to back.
Undead Unluck.
Finished this, finished that, and I was like, whoa, he's on a roll. Somebody stop him. He's gonna eat all the anime.
I haven't even started the next thing I'm gonna watch.
It's gonna be Golden Kamuy, right?
It is probably gonna be Golden Kamuy.
Yeah.
Unless I get a wild hair up my ass and decide to continue Higurashi. You guys want some news?
Yeah, let's have some news.
That's unfortunate because it's all bad.
Oh no.
First of all, I when I was looking for news, I saw this headline amongst all the other kind of nothing headlines and just said, oh no, I have to report on this. It's like actually important.
Uh-oh.
Which is 50,000 manga titles to be translated by AI set to come overseas.
No, die, perish, perish, perish.
A group consisting of Shogakukan, which is related to Shueisha, and the Japanese government have decided to invest in a startup called Orange, which claims it can translate a volume of a manga in just a few days.
Yikes.
Of course, this is all puffery. Their methods have already been criticized by many translators, especially talking about being fired and rehired at lower pay grades to work with AI, which produces poor translations that they have to correct anyway, leading to the same work for less compensation. The response by the Japanese anti-piracy group Coda is no, it won't be like that. No,
die.
They're stealing over there.
Uh-huh.
You have to take less money because we think they steal.
Yeah.
Anyway, so fuck all that. That's garbage.
It's bad.
And I have to take back a personal belief that I've held for a long time due to video game trailers, that the Japanese don't give a shit about spoilers. Because I don't know if anybody else who's noticed who plays a lot of video games that video game trailers for Japanese games will often spoil the entire fucking plot. But I have to take it back because we're going to cover in the rare anime crime beat that a 50-year-old Japanese civil service worker has assaulted his subordinate for giving him Oshinoko spoilers.
What the hell?
A man who works for the Kyoto District Legal Affairs Bureau has reportedly grabbed his subordinate by the shirt and kicked him in the chest
Jesus.
after
Dude.
after receiving spoilers for the manga while they chatted by the water cooler after he expressed a desire not to be spoiled.
Wow.
I mean, he did warn him.
I suppose he warned him.
It's like, I will kick you like a horse
I
if
will
you tell me what happens.
I will collapse your sternum.
Say goodbye to your rib cage, motherfucker.
The
I
man
would
was
do the
not.
same thing.
Apparently, the man was not particularly injured and has simply complained to the prefectural police police
I
station.
mean, I'll be real. Don't spoil things, but also don't kick people.
That is lunatic behavior for a 50-year-old man.
Don't do that.
I support this man in his actions.
You support the kickery.
Yeah, don't spoil shit.
The Legal Affairs Bureau was interviewed and replied, due to the ongoing investigation, we will be refraining from comment.
My God.
Anyway, I believe JoJo had something for us this week.
I do have something for us that I attempted to bring before, but Blackle had seen it. So we're going to watch it this week because Blackle is doing cool shit in real life. So yeah, we're going to watch Erased.
Cool to be on a
Erased to
podcast.
what?
Erased.
Erased.
I erased the title of this one. We're not going to see it actually. Goodbye, everyone. Gotta get back to the past. Yep. Okay, that's all I got.
Right. Cool. I see. I understand. So who wants this? Who wants the blurb for this one?
Louis.
I read it last time I was
choose
on.
you.
I'll read it. Don't care. It doesn't scare me. No, this is like pulling teeth with the rest of you.
Listen, I just want everyone to have a fair chance.
When tragedy is about to strike, Satoru Fujinuma finds himself sent back several minutes before the accident occurred. The detached 29-year-old manga artist has taken advantage of this powerful yet mysterious phenomenon, which he calls revival, to save many lives. However, when he is wrongly accused of murdering someone close to him, Satoru is sent back to the past once again, but this time to 1988, 18 years in the past. Soon he realizes that the murder may be connected to the abduction and killing of one of his classmates, the solitary and mysterious Kaio Hinazuki, that took place when he was a child. This is his chance to make things right.
Yeah, so that was just all of the spoilers for the first episode.
Yeah. No, it wasn't all the spoilers.
I mean,
We got
I guess
plenty
not.
of spoilers.
Oh, there's a lot of there's some fucking plot twists and a half going for this show, but they lightly spoiled everything for the first episode.
So yeah, we sort of open on. I don't know why this is already fuzzy to me because the show isn't bad. Maybe I'm just having a weird day.
Well,
but
the first part is like writing based.
We basically open on Satoru's life and his repeated difficulties getting his manga published. Because that's his dream. He's coming. We sort of open on him coming out of an application that he sent to a publication where the guy is very gently giving him some criticism, where he's just like, "You've got the technical ability, but we don't see anything here that really grabs somebody. You need to dig deep down into yourself. That's what viewers want to see."
Mm-hmm.
And he's back in his apartment thinking back to it, and he's basically kind of just like, "Oh, what a bunch of bullshit! Come on."
Like the guy was telling him, you're already 29. I don't know if we're right for you.
I don't
like,
know if our publication is right for you. I'm just like, oh fuck, that's dire.
Not this ancient 29-year-old.
Like, what am I thinking of? I think the Ranking of Kings guy started whenever he was 41. Um, but yeah, clearly a depressing letdown for him. We see his room set up, and he's got one of those micro fucking apartments. Which is basically, it seems like it's like probably 3 rooms total. Because he's got a broom closet for a bedroom that's already half full of a like low Japanese floor desk of a type I've never seen before. He doesn't have a chair; he's just parked his futon under it. And
I
then the
feel
rest
like
of
I would do that.
the room is just filled with books otherwise. And spoiler: the rest of his apartment is basically the same size. He's got a parlor / kitchen, and I assume the man has a bathroom.
Yeah.
He mentions
He
the
has to sneak
bathroom at
past
some
his
point.
mom.
But yeah, he's got to sneak past his mom to get to it later. But
I wasn't sure if that was something I should have said or not, so I'm glad you repeated it.
But you can't spoilers. There's a mom.
Spoilers, there's a mom.
There's
but
a
not
mom.
now.
In the bathroom.
And yeah, we catch him going out to his day job because yeah,
It's so relatable.
one can't support themselves on failing to impress manga publishers alone. One also must deliver pizzas.
You gotta deliver them, unfortunately.
And yeah, he's getting ready to go out on one of the, like, I didn't know how they delivered pizza in Japan. This makes sense, but it's also horrifying because they deliver them on those horrible little scooters. And yeah, he's got the full uniform and everything. And as he goes out, another coworker whose name was shit. What's her name? I think it's Ire. Caliguri.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
He's going out at the same time, and she says, "Now you keep your stomach away from that order." Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And he's driving away. He's just like, "Yeah, that's
same
real
old
funny.
joke as always. Ha ha ha
Same
ha.
joke he said to me every day.
It's funny the 50th time you've told me that. Ha 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 ha.
The only thing you've ever said to me."
Something about millennials.
Anyway, so yeah, he's working, and then the next scene made me so nervous the whole time because weird pet peeve that I'm sure many people have is if you've ever like ridden around with somebody who will just not fucking keep their eyes on the road.
Yeah.
And then when you bring it up, they say, "Oh no, I know where I'm going," and then they immediately look somewhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's this is somewhere in Tokyo, and he's driving around, and he's just sort of looking around it, and like there's kids, with the little bucket hats. Traffic's pretty thick, and he catches sight of a blue butterfly. And a few seconds later, they play the fucking JoJo D.
I was gonna say they just play as a world.
And reverse him about a minute, and he's not surprised. He's just like, "Oh God, what's wrong?
God,
what
is
did I
it?
miss?" And he just starts looking around frantically. I'm just like, "What you missed is you're gonna fucking wipe out in about 30 seconds. It's dangerous enough to do this in a car. You are on a scooter. You are going to lose your balance." But yeah, but now that he's basically been cued to pay attention, he notices a large truck traveling in the opposite direction, where the driver appears to have slumped over, and he says, he's like, "Oh God," and he swings out in front of somebody in a quick U-turn and pulls up beside him because the driver is unconscious. He's drooling.
The driver, I'm pretty sure, is just dead. They say later.
Well, he may not be dead at that point, but he is drooling. He is unconscious. So So yeah, he's like, shit. And he looks down the street, and of course, there's some yellow bucket hat wearing kid about to cross the
This
street.
child is about to be
He's
isekai'd.
just like, oh shit, oh fuck.
Oh, God.
So he speeds up and attempts to get the guy's attention, which he's unsuccessful, banging on the door, and he finally just uh, leans all the way in to pull the guy to his side of the truck so that he pulls the wheel at the last second and swerves, and he's just like, okay, we missed the kid. And when he looks up, he gets a face full of Honda Civic.
Yep.
Because yeah,
he's transported to a fantasy world.
it's fucking dangerous. Yeah, he gets transported to the fantasy world of
a hospital.
his own memories from 1988. And he's just like, oh, good. I should mention the dub here. The dub on this, pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad.
I like all of the line reads. I especially like the wariness that he brings to every line.
He's so emo.
He is so fucking tired. And later I like Kataguri as well. But and his mom. But
yeah, they're all good.
But yeah, and he's just like, oh, good. I'm watching my life flash before my eyes. This is the sort of shit that happens to you before you die, huh?
He's like, well, if I'm dead, oh well.
If I'm dead, I'm dead. And I at this point, I would just be like, come on, man, take a victory lap. You've said to yourself you've used this ability, which he does tell us he calls it revival, which sends him back usually 1 to 5 minutes in the past to save a number of lives and prevent tragedies. So it's just like, come on, man, you put this in the win column. I mean, yeah, your personal life may suck, but you've made significant change in the world.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
And as he's going, he sees he's seeing festival stuff, and he sees a park in the snow with a little girl who's marked out in that she is the only thing in color in this memory. The rest of it is sepia, but she's got a bright red scarf. If I remember correctly. And he's just like, huh? Why am I remembering this? And he snaps out of it back to his hospital because somebody's sitting by his bed saying, oh, hey, you opened your eyes.
Hey, you're finally awake.
You're finally awake.
Oh God, he woke up in Skyrim.
Wake up. You were dreaming. But yeah, Kataguri is there, and we kind of get informed as to how young she is now, because she seemed relatively sprightly before, but she's wearing a school uniform. She's clearly a high school girl.
She's in high school.
She's just like, oh, she came all the way out to see you in the hospital. But but he's just like, yo, what the hell? She's just like, hey, do you need me to call anybody? And she's like, no, there's nobody I'd want to bother with this. And she's like, huh.
She's like, you know who you are and where you are and how you got here.
She's like, oh, good, okay. And eventually she just gets kind of tired of this bullshit and is just like, come on, I'm trying to make light conversation here. He's just like, okay, I'm being rude. He's just like, why do you work at the pizza place anyway? And she's like, oh, that's an interesting personal question. She's like, oh shit, is it? Fuck, did I already fuck up? She's like, no, it's just nobody's ever asked me that before. I guess I'm working there because I have a dream. And he thinks about his own dream, and he's just like, are you sure you're not going to jinx it telling people about it? It's like, that's a weird way to think about it. I feel like if I tell more people about it, it's more likely to come true. And he's just like, huh. He's just like, so what is it? And she's just like, you know what? I decided I'm not going to tell you.
Good for her. I'm gonna trust in her pizza-based dreams.
I'm gonna tell the nurse that you're awake, and then I'm going home. He's just like, oh shit. And our next, actually, the next scene is he's just in a cab, and that's when he lays out the stuff about revival, which is why I didn't really even remember the scene until now, because that's all it exists for.
Yeah.
And he goes up to one of his goes up the stairs to the same shitty apartment everybody in Tokyo lives in.
Yeah.
The same 2-story in the outskirts of the suburb.
Yeah.
Because nobody can afford to live downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And as he climbs up to the second floor, he knows you hear the sound of water running, and he looks through the window and he's just like, "Oh, I see." And when he comes in, we get to meet Satoru's mom.
She's
She's
here.
great. MILF detected.
She's like very immediately noted. He's like, yeah, she's 51, but she looks like she's still so much younger than that.
She looks like she did when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
And
He comes in there and she's just like, hey, I was at the hospital, but you were still asleep, so I got bored and left.
I got bored and left.
She's so funny.
She's currently cooking, and the only thing different about her age-wise is that she's drawn with her lips fully defined,
Mm-hmm.
which actually makes her a very charming character design.
Mm-hmm.
I quite like her.
Yeah, she's great.
And of course she's Satoru's mom because he actually has her mannerisms to a certain degree. He's just not as funny as she is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, the whole time they're having this conversation, she's cooking for him, and he's just like, "Why are you here?" It's like, "Of course I'm here. My boy got in a fucking car accident." It's just like, "I'm gonna stay for a few days." It's like, "What do you mean you're gonna stay for a few days?" I mean exactly what I'm gonna exactly what I fucking said.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like smoking in his house.
Yeah.
Like, "I'll make do with the sleeping bag I found in your closet," and he's just like, "Ah, shit." Like, anyway, I made food. Come here and eat.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next scene? What do they do next?
I think he asks her about something from his childhood. Because my next notes are about him like remembering being a child.
No, that's not. That doesn't happen yet.
No, he goes to the store with her. He goes to the store with her, and then as they're leaving, he has another revival.
Yeah, they go out to the grocery store because she has a stated intention of cooking so much curry he'll be eating it for a week. And as they're leaving, he sees the butterfly, and he's just like, "Ah, shit!" And it sends him back like a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And several things happened during that minute. Some kid lost his ice cream, and another kid somebody let go of a bunch of balloons and lost them.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy walked by with his daughter, and he's like, "Huh, what's going on?" It's like, "What was wrong? What did I miss?" And he can't figure it out. And he's just like, "Mom, does anything feel off to you?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Wait a second. Well, you used to say that sort of thing when you were a kid." And she starts looking around too, and she's like, "Huh." And he doesn't notice anything, but we sort of get her internal thoughts at this point, and she's just like, "Did that guy walking by with the girl just look at me?"
Mm-hmm. And she pulls her cell phone out, I think, and like
She pulls her cell phone out, and I think she takes a picture of him.
Yeah, she takes a picture of him, and I think she takes a picture of like the license plate.
Mm-hmm. Because, yeah, interestingly enough, while we're with her, and time keeps moving forward, Satoru can't figure out what that was about, but that guy gets into a van and drives away without the little girl.
Yeah, he does not take the child with
that
him,
he was
which is
previously holding hands with, which is killing.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
And yeah, she's just like, "Huh," and then they run into Katagiri again because he's just buying groceries. It looked like,
Mm-hmm.
and they start walking home, and uh, the two of them, the mom and Katagiri, are talking this whole time. It's just like, "That's her," and she's like, "That's your mom, really?" It's just like, "Yeah, I know."
He says the line, "Do you believe in witches?"
Do
And
you
she
believe
says,
in
"I do
witches?"
now," which is
now.
one of my favorite lines.
I thought she was your sister.
Mm-hmm.
Such is the powerful MILF energy that she unleashes. But yeah, they're talking, and she's just like, hey, why don't you come eat dinner with us? And he's just like, oh, come on. She's just like, I would love to eat curry with you guys. I'll even help make it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they head up there, and I feel like this is a calculated play from Mom, because she still seemingly feels nervous about before.
Mm-hmm.
Like she gets the impression that she thinks she might be followed.
Right.
Um. Anyway, they head on home. They make some curry and they have a little talk about she's like, oh, I didn't know you were a manga artist, and he's just like, yeah, I am. And it's just like, how did you know? It's just like, oh yeah, I just looked you up on my
I
phone.
looked you up on Manga Wiki or whatever the hell she called it.
He's just, it's like, oh shit, why would you do that? That's leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And across the table, Mom Satoru is just like, so how long have you two been dating? And the girl, I appreciate that they don't do the none.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like, oh no, it's not like that. And
Mm-hmm.
Satoru's just like, Mom, she's a high school.
He
What's
he
wrong with
repeats
you?
this multiple times because his mom's like, "You can stay the night," and he's like, "Mom, she's a high schooler.
It's
No,
just
she
like, Mom,
fucking
she
can't."
absolutely cannot.
Which, like,
And
good for him.
it's like, I'll give you a ride to the station.
Mm-hmm.
And he does. She sits on the back of his bike, and they're going through. And she's like, "Thanks for going to the trouble." And he's just like, "Yeah, it's no problem. Just keep an eye out for the cops.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't want. I don't want to look like a snatcher." Um. And when he gets back, him and his mom sit down to sort of have a conversation, because it's been stuck in her mind, and it's just like, oh yeah, and she's watching TV by that point.
Mm-hmm.
She's commandeered his futon and his TV. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to sneak past her if I want to go to the bathroom later. And she's just like, don't worry about sneaking past me. Go to the
I'm
bathroom
gonna
later.
sleep like a brick.
I'm gonna be sleeping like a rock. Because she has already put away 4 or 5 Sapporos.
Yeah, there's just cans lying around.
fucking Misato core individual. But
Uh,
she's watching the news, and they're talking about how a missing child was recently discovered walking down the side of the road in Yokohama, and it was actually like good, because she had been feared dead.
mm-hmm.
And she's sort of pensive about it. She's just like, it's like, do you remember when that happened when you were a kid? He's like, what do you mean? It's just like, well, those of us adults tried to kind of make you all forget, but yeah, somebody was snatched when you were a kid. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh yeah. And then he starts thinking about it. He re-examines his memories, because whenever he was a small child, he was very shy, and he had met an adult man who he called Yuki, uh, who had he had one of those styrofoam planes
Mm-hmm.
that you can throw. Uh, and he had thrown it, and the kid had found it and almost reached out to give it to him, and he picked it up, and they had started to talk after that, because they frequented the same park, it seems
Yeah, they
like.
would sit on one of those little grassy hills and like sort of look down where everyone else was playing.
And it's a bit of a weird look for a grown man, but he didn't actually seem nefarious.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he was doing. He would
He was sort of an awkward
Yeah, he
guy.
was a little awkward. He would stutter a little bit,
He
but
stuttered a little bit, and he would say things like, "You gotta have courage," like who's the most popular kid in your class? Like, how is he? Is he outgoing, and he can be a goofball, but not about things he cares about? Like, how did you know? It's like, that's how all popular people are, and you can be like that if you want to too. You just
mm-hmm.
gotta have courage. Follow that kid's lead.
mm-hmm.
He's clearly speaking from like a place of experience in his
Yeah,
life.
right.
Because he's just like, I grew up to be kind of a weird, awkward man, and I want to save others from this experience.
uh,
Um, and yeah, he had talked about that, and then he had talked about going home every night, he had seen a young girl from his class named Tayo Hinazuki. And he'd seen her usually in the same, in a different park on the way home. And he remembers seeing her there alone one evening after dark when he was going home. And that was the last time anybody saw her.
Yeah.
Because she had been snatched and murdered.
Mm-hmm. And then they blamed Yuki, right?
They blamed, yeah, they arrested Yuki for it
Mm-hmm.
because he had, presumably because he had been seen around the children.
Yeah.
And yeah, he Satoru blamed himself as a child, which is why his
Mm-hmm.
mom went to such lengths to save him from that, because he had seen her, and if he had asked her to walk home with him, she might be alive. And this is like, yeah, you're right, kid. That's fucked up. It sucks that both of those things happen.
Yeah, it does suck.
And yeah, the guilt you're feeling is real to a certain degree, but you couldn't have known.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is how guilt really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The next scene is he I think they go to bed, right? Yeah. They go to bed because he has to go to work the next day. And he's at work the whole shift. We don't actually even really see that. We just see him whenever he's hanging it up and about to go home. And apparently Katagiri is still on shift because she's still in uniform.
Yep.
And she's just like, hey, just like, tell your mom I want more of that girl.
Yeah.
That shit was the best.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's funny because he's in his regular clothes. He's already packed up and he heads out. And you see the manager stand in the background and he's looking at this scene with a look on his face. It's just like, the fuck does that mean?
He's like, huh.
Huh.
All right. Yeah.
In the same way, like you hear something you hear something and you're just like, that didn't sound fucking right.
Huh?
What does that mean?
Right, exactly.
But you never hear any follow-up and you're forced to assume. It's just like, maybe I was just being crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we cut back to mom at the house. You know, sitting around on her phone in like, an attractive way. And and she's thinking about the past, and she's just like, the vibe here is strange. It feels almost as if the parents back then had done something about the disappearances.
Right. It does like
if there was a secret between them.
Yeah, it is interesting.
That wasn't necessarily related to the police investigation of those.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe they did something on their own. And she's thinking about it. She's just like, yeah, that guy had like provisional plates. He was definitely going to snatch that kid. Like, why do I recognize him? Why do I think I know his eyes?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I've got to call somebody about it. And she does. She's just like, hey, I need to talk to, I forget who it was. And that they exchanged an almost non-committal phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's just like, hey, we need to talk about this. And whenever she got, and she's like hanging up her jacket while they're doing that. I don't know why I remember that so specifically. I think I noted it because I always thought it was weird the way, like in Japanese apartments, people hang up their clothes just sort of on the door, because of the way sliding doors work.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she's like, okay. And then they clearly make plans to like meet or talk on the phone again. And so there's the sound of the door opening behind her, and she's just like, oh, hey, Satoru.
We have to note that she's having a memory of Satoru as a child saying it wasn't.
That it wasn't Yuki. That Yuki didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition to him bawling about seeing her for, being the last person to see her.
Right.
How we could have prevented her death, and that he sincerely believed that Yuki didn't believe her. That Yuki didn't do it. And she turns around to address Satoru, but it's not Satoru. It is a man
Yeah.
in a suit who has stabbed her in the abdomen
Yeah.
because he has already advanced into the apartment.
Yes, this is the killer is afoot.
The killer is here and unusually has stabbed her with a chef's knife, which strikes me as a strange item to bring to a murder in a different place from where you live.
Mm-hmm.
Like you assume most kitchen knife murders occur
In the
close
kitchen, yeah.
to their home kitchen, right?
I
Where
don't
the knife
assume anything.
belongs.
I think they wanted to make it look striking. She is also immediately covered in blood everywhere.
Yeah, like this is a horrendous abdomen wound. She is not making it back from this.
No.
Without immediate medical intervention. That she will
Spoilers,
not
she's
be
not
getting.
going to get it.
Another one. They've done another one to us.
They
We
Yeah.
have to do something. There's got to be some sort of thing we can donate to.
Yeah, we got to stop moms from opening doors and having strangers come in with
Mom
us.
didn't even open the door. She just stood there.
We've got to donate to some sort of like MILF protection fund. But
It's called buying a lock.
Actually, we'll come back to that later because I remember something specific. But yeah, and we do see this man's eyes. We don't see his face. We just see his suit and his gloves, and we see his red eye.
They are red, which is very creepy.
She's on the floor, clearly bleeding to death, and she reaches for her phone, and she's just like, I've got to call him. I've got to call Satoru. Like, I should have believed you. I know now that your friend didn't do it.
Right.
And as she's reaching for a long time, and you expect the man to like stab her again, but even more cruelly, he just leans in and picks up the phone.
Yeah.
And leaves. Just as Satoru is coming up the stairs, and they pass each other on the stairs, and he sees a glimpse of this man.
He sees the eyes.
He sees his eyes, and his fedora, used in the correct manner, which is bizarre.
Murdering?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
yeah, that's the murder hat,
worn by murderers. No, I was saying worn with a full worsted suit. But yeah, and he walks in and starts to address his mom, and he notices as he comes in, he notices a piece of folded paper, which the origin of which was from earlier. The mom was out and about, and she has a little personal diary, and that was tucked into it, and it fell whenever she came back into the house. So it landed by her shoes, and he's just like. Mom, just like, come on, this isn't Hokkaido. You can't just leave the door open because the door was open.
Yeah.
And yeah, he stumbles upon her murdered body.
Yep.
And he immediately is just like, hey, this isn't funny. And he goes to roll her over, and he sees the fucking 8-inch chef's knife stuck in her. And he panics. He gets blood on his hand. And he scoots out of the back, and just then one of the neighbors shows up in the doorway, and it's just like, hey, I brought your dish back. Your mom's curry was incredible, and sees him like that.
Yeah.
And screams. The police get there almost instantaneously.
The police are there within 30 seconds.
I don't know if it's that necessarily. More he's freaking the fuck out, and like time kind of just like flashes.
I mean, yeah, that's probably
I don't know, but it feels like an incredible fucking response time. It ain't fucking East Dallas here. It's
right. Yeah, no, it was quick. I just I don't know. I kind of picked up like panic attack vibes.
And yeah, she's already talking to police. She's just like, I saw him. He had blood all over him.
Mm-hmm.
and they come up to arrest him because it looks like he killed that woman. By the way, I don't know if they're going to continue with the angle of the investigation here, but it's going to be really fucking weird for them whenever his fingerprints aren't on the
Right.
knife.
That's really
Um,
true.
So, but he panics and he turns to run, and he does as he does, he sees the blue butterfly fly by again. He doesn't even think about it, and a few seconds later, he gets Tokyo Tomorade again. Um, and when he comes to, he's just like, where am I? And I'm looking at the screen and it's like, I know where you are. You're in
Mm-hmm.
fucking like Sapporo or some shit. You're in Hokkaido. I see the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, he's been sent back 18 years this
Yeah,
time.
it's also to me pretty immediately noticeable that he is like just his perspective is shorter.
Yeah, he's short and he's running with a young boy of his acquaintance.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, well, I know this kid. Why do I know this kid? And when they turn the corner, he sees the school that he used to go to, and then it
Yeah,
dawns on him. And that's the end of the episode.
that's the
We're left
episode.
on that one.
Can I be
Uh,
so honest?
Go ahead.
It lost me when they did that.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen Tokyo Revengers, and I'm just like, this is Tokyo Revengers. I don't know. Like I was excited about the plot line and the current time and everything, and I was like, oh, they're not gonna go past that, are they?
I don't know about that because there's a fair chance that that in the past he will change something and then go back.
Right.
So even more Tokyo Revengers shit.
I've
I don't
never
know.
seen it,
I
so
haven't seen
It's
that.
the exact same premise except they're in a biker gang.
I haven't seen that, and it came out. And if I remember correctly, Erase came out. Erase came out like 12 years ago or something.
Oh yeah, no, this definitely predates it. I just like I've only like I don't know. Like I'm pretty sure Tokyo Revengers pulls from Erased and references.
Oh,
mm,
not as old as I thought. It's only like 8 or 9 years old.
Oh really?
But
It's because it was dated in like 2006. I just assumed it was older.
um yeah, this is 2016. Looks like
yeah, probably had a manga before that too.
so yeah, I like this.
This gripped me.
I find the animation to be pretty competent. I
Hmm.
like the character designs, obviously. Um, even those that were cruelly ripped away from us. Um, and I quite liked the actual dub voice acting for this.
Hmm.
I found it to be pretty great, and yeah, the content is what gets me because it's God, I will admit to being like isekai shell shocked to the point where anytime I see like a traffic accident in an anime,
Uh-huh.
I'm just like,
You're
no,
just like,
no,
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 wait,
no,
wait,
stop
wait,
it.
wait.
Stop it, stop it.
But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes.
Yeah,
I
no, go
sorry, you
ahead.
go. You go.
So what I like, I will tell you all, you know, when I bring shows to this show, I have certain things that I really like to watch. Y'all obviously know my
Mhm.
gambling anime fanness. I love the robot animes we've been watching. I will tell you, I love a murder mystery.
Mhm.
I am a slut for a murder mystery, and especially when they do good plot twists. I'm into it. I like audibly gasped when it wasn't Satoru that came in, and when she got stabbed, I audibly
Mhm.
gasped.
My brain was just picturing like Oshinoko for some reason.
Oh no, I get you.
Listen,
This does
like,
have a bit of Oshinoko
but this came before
touch. I know it
Oshinoko,
does.
so yeah.
Oshinoko has a bit of this.
It's yeah. It's like if I
I
had
wonder if
seen this
anybody got
first,
their ass kicked over erased spoilers.
yeah. Like if I had seen this first, I'd probably be way more into it. That being said, I am still interested in it.
Hmm.
Um, I'm just not like I was pretty gripped for most of it, and then not so gripped when they did the end plot twist.
Mhm.
But like I still am like invested, you know.
Yeah.
Well, they would have they had to go back to 1988 somehow.
Oh, of course. Once they
Yeah.
started talking about it, and he was like they were like,
There's
you
like
gotta
too many
search deep
mysteries
down.
from back then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like he was
there's no way.
he was either going to go there physically or mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm sure I'm gonna make Erased fans really mad by saying this is just Tokyo Revengers.
yeah, probably.
I'm not trying to start shit.
I need to hit you guys with the alternate title for this, because Erased
Yes.
is perhaps a pretty good title. We'll see. We'll see if it pans out. But the alternate title for this is The Town Where Only I Am Missing.
Yes, I have seen
I'm
that,
just like,
and it is really intriguing.
That's fucking hard. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of went off with that one.
That's Freeran at the funeral shit.
Yeah, it is,
But,
isn't it?
Anyway, I will definitely be watching episode 2.
Yeah, I'm probably
At the
going to
very
watch
least.
all of this at some point.
You will watch,
So-
knowing you will watch all of this tomorrow.
This does feel like one that I could easily just gulp down tomorrow, but we'll
You
see.
You aren't beating the allegation.
I'm not beating the allegations. It'll all just depend on what, my time management looks like tomorrow.
Right.
This show, the other thing that happened is it made me want curry.
Still have not tasted curry.
Oh yeah, it's
This,
fucking good.
Hey, I want to give my opinion before you reminisce on not having curry. Like I said earlier, I'm interested in this.
I'm interested in this.
God,
Nobody's gonna get that. Come on.
No one's gonna get that.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Anyway,
Go ahead.
It kind of slots into the same part of the queue that like My Home Hero exists in.
Yeah.
What another one that I watched all of
Rice
very
is done.
quickly.
Yeah.
Rice is done.
It's good, but it's very intense, and like I need to prepare myself mentally for that. I wasn't mentally prepared for what happened with the mom, and I was like, oh man, my favorite character again.
Oh man.
But like she's written so she's likable, so
yeah,
she's so likable and pretty.
They do a good job. Like that's another thing I'm liking about this is it's well written characters.
And listener, for the low price of $1 a month, you can help us prevent tragedies like this in the future. If you donate to the MILF Protection Fund at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is one the word, not the number. Please.
We will give you a t-shirt or something.
Listen, we're going to make a post, and if you want to signal boost that, we are on Twitter and Blue Sky at OneEpisodeCast. Please think of the MILFs.
You will receive a personalized letter and a photograph of the MILF that you have donated to.
What is this bit?
Save them! We have to save them!
This is a really bizarre...
God.
Anyway, save the MILF.